I like to think, but it's easy when you're by my side. No point in calling, you just have to see the fundamentals of our life tonight. Cause I've been looking at a photograph of you, and I've been thinking about all the ways you move. This isolation got me feeling like a movie, my love. Yeah, when I wake up, I feel empty, not beside you. My whole life been searching just to find you. This quality, it hasn't got the right to. Yeah, but it's a vibe. Killing time, we got nowhere to be. You sending messages I can't ignore. No contemplating, come here close to me. I'm bored at home, can't leave the house no more. But I've been looking at a photograph of you, and I've been thinking about all the ways you move. This isolation got me feeling like I'm losing my love. Yeah, when I wake up, I feel empty, not beside you. My whole life been searching just to find you. This quality, it hasn't got the right to. Yeah, but it's a vibe. You when I wake up, I feel empty, not beside you. My whole life been searching just to find you. Quality, it hasn't got the right to. Yeah, but it's a vibe.
Happy Friday. Yay, we made it. We made it.
How y'all doing tonight? Hope everybody's doing real good.
Yeah. So I've run a little early because there's a whole lot going on out there in the YouTube streets, and I thought, shoot, I'll go ahead and go live and see if anybody wants to talk Murdaugh. That trial that has been going on down here in the South Carolina. I am in the North Carolina. And every time I watch the footage, I can't help but love that Southern drawl that they all have down there in South Carolina. Hey.com. And it made me proud to have a Southern drawl when I hear him talk about Pawpaw and Riri and all those terms of endearment to make him sound like just the nicest Southern gentleman why you ever met. Why you would never think he would do anything that would bring harm to any of his family. Why he come from a long line of solicitors. Why I'm not sure why he's even on the stand. Yeah, so I noticed that one of the prosecutors said, "You haven't used those terms, Paw Riri, the whole darn time, and all of his written stuff and his depo and whatever." I thought that was kind of funny. He's trying to get you to buy that Pinto, but telling you it's a Cadillac. Yeah, so I hope everybody's doing good today. And I got in the kitchen and started cooking. The weather is changing. It's been kind of hot, and so I got in the kitchen today and I cooked. I made carnitas for some tacos, or actually burritos. So then I made some barbecued chicken and baked beans and some coleslaw and cooked cabbage, green beans and corn, and I made this that cucumber onion salad. You know, I put that with it too, and man, it was good. So when the house is quiet and the kitchen is clean and all is well and it's not so darn hot, I like to get in there and cook. So that's what I did today. But I had that trial going on in the background, and I made a couple of clips and posted them if you want to check those out after the show. But in those clips, Murdaugh is on the stand saying, "Yes, I admit to taking the money." And they asked him, "Do you admit to telling these people to their face to trust you? Do you admit to that you looked in their face, looked in their eye?" And he said, "Well, I don't know that it went down like that, but pretty much, yeah, I suppose it did." And I had no qualms about yeah, I'm a liar, a cheat, and a thief, but I'm not a murderer. I don't know. What do you think, .com? Do you think he's guilty? Or I guess I should say, do you think that the prosecution is presenting their case? Do you think that they are um, leaving reasonable doubt? Now, I'll tell you, for me, I got reasonable doubt about that little girl that was, yeah. I want to know motive. I say that, yeah, he's guilty, but do you think he was trying to cover up that girl, or do you think this was all just a cover my ass, get me out of financial debt? I mean, he had to have known he was going to get caught. Uh, you know, this reminds me anytime that there's a trial that's big like this, or Lindsey Graham is on TV. I think of the movie A Long Hot Summer. Do y'all remember that movie? I think in the original it had Paul Newman, and then the remake of it in the '80s, it had what's this guy's name from Miami Vice? Shoot, just left me. Don Johnson. Yeah, and yes, but I want to wait till it's all over. Okay. Well, when I hear their accents, I can't help but think of the remake in the '80s had Shepherd. What's her name? Shoot, what is her name? Hang on, let me look her up. And they have that southern drawl. She says, "Well, I do believe it's going to be a long, hot summer." And he is in the movie Long Hot Summer. He's a bootlegger, and I guess he falls in love with someone who's touched me not. Kind of reminds me of The Great Gatsby. Or was he a barn burner? Anyway, it was a barn burner. It was a shepherd. What's her name? Huh? Sybil Shepherd. Yeah. Yeah, she had that accent. She's, "Well, I do believe it's going to be a long, hot summer." Okay, well, anyway, that's nothing to do with me. Okay, so I'm getting sidetracked here. But when they brought up the girl, the wreck, and all that, the boat wreck, uh, do y'all feel like and then the boy that was beat to death, the little gay guy that was beat. Holy cow, man! This family is like uh had gone off the rails a little bit, hadn't they? And when he said on the stand, they said, "If you needed to put your hands on a large sum of money, you knew where to go get it, didn't you?" He said, "Well, sure, I did." And they said, "When I say large sum of monies," they said, "You talking about like 1 million? Sure. 2 million? Yeah, I could. Oh my God. Woo, this is like the epitome of good old boys, ain't it? Like the good old boys club they talk about, especially in the damn South. Uh, hey, they had given this guy, didn't they? He say he got to have like a badge, and he wore it there on his pocket to give off the idea he was one of them, and so he could pass freely, walk freely among them. And he was just a lawyer. What do y'all think of that? I'm gonna put these up here. Let's see here. They're showing up on my phone, but not here. Is it raining outside? My chat's not showing up. Okay, we'll see. Pam says, I think he's guilty, but I don't think the verdict will be guilty. I know. They're not proving the case, are they? They're leaving reasonable doubt. Um Pam, me too. I think he is guilty, but I may know more than what the jury has heard. So yeah, they're keeping a lot from the jury. And Pam says everyone seems to be scared of the family and repercussions. Yeah, man, that family is deep, isn't it? And I mean, can I have a cup? I got lipstick on. Yeah. Let's see here. I wonder why my comments are stuck. Oh well. Anybody wants to come? Have y'all ever lived in a town where it was like that? Everyone was afraid of the powers that be. I have. I have. .com says he would never hurt, murder his family, yet all the people he stole from, he claims he loved, a lot of them like family. And teenager. Did you hear that about the teenager? I'll play that real quick. It'll be a sound bite here because I didn't get to upload it here. Shorts.
Because the fact is, you can't be nice to people on here. You can't.
Wrong one. I'll get to it in a minute. Your videos, Murdaugh.
Attributed to you that has nothing to do with the money that you subsequently stole from that teenager. Correct?
Stole from a
The
teenager.
$800,000 is different from money that I stole?
Yes.
That's correct.
All right. So you had $800,000 attributed to you with the firm, but that was not enough. You also stole money from that teenager. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. When you
Teenager.
did that, did you sit down with her, much as you sat down with this jury, and explain to her what was going on while you were stealing her money?
Teenager.
That would be the normal process, but I certainly don't remember specifically doing that.
That would be the normal process, correct?
It may be a little different with a teenager, but certainly, I mean,
You would sit down with them across the table and go through these documents, correct?
if That would not be abnormal, yes, sir.
All right. And then you would explain to them what was going on and how they were getting everything they were entitled to, correct?
If I was the one doing it, yes, sir.
You would look them in the eye while you did that, correct?
It wouldn't be unusual for me to look them in the eye.
While you were doing some fast talking to a teenager, correct?
I certainly was not telling her the truth. I don't know if I was talking fast or slow, but I wasn't telling the truth.
All right. Well, you ultimately,
Yeah, so he had no problem lying to a teenager to exploit her out of her money.
I stole money. That was not my money.
There
I
he
misled
is.
people that I shouldn't have misled, and I did wrong. I can tell you that. And I may be able to tell you
Oops, I didn't mean to do that.
did wrong. I can tell you that.
There
And I
he
may be able to
is.
tell you specifically, in some instances, what I did or didn't do.
all right, well, good. Well, we'll do that. But the point that I'm asking you is it's not just as simple as some paperwork. You had to sit down and deal with these people and convince them that you were telling them the truth in order to steal this money, correct?
That may not be true because in some situations, I may not have had to do that. They may have just trusted me to do it.
Okay.
So that's my point is I misled them. There's no question about that. But did I sit down in each particular instance and
Yeah,
like
this
you're breaking
tells
it
me
down
right
step-
there he would mislead the jury. Right? He would have no problem misleading the jury. Yeah. What does she think? And the nanny's kids. What do you think of that? I'm disappointed that maybe they should have taken a little bit more time preparing the case, or was this on purpose? And why are they letting him talk so freely without any objections? So I'm thinking they sure are giving him free reign to influence. Like I always say, Pelosi said, the truth doesn't matter. It's the perception of the truth. And is he influencing them? Right? I was, just shocked how much this family was connected to a lot of murders, right? Yeah, he's a professional lawyer. He did it for a living, right? Isn't that what they call lawyers? No offense. They lie for a living. They persuade, and their dog and pony is all about selling a lie, right? Selling the perception of the truth. I guess that's why they're paid the big bucks, right? On another note, I don't know if anyone noticed this or not, but .com's in here, so I want to mention this. An Australian oil plant went up in flames right before I went live. So I thought I would share that with you. I also made a short of it too. Here it
Locals
is.
reported hearing loud explosions before huge plumes of smoke billowed into the air. At
Yeah.
least 4 vehicles,
An
including
oil
petrol
plant.
tanker,
Weird, huh? Mute. They're getting rid of all of our oil, aren't they? Yeah, tomorrow, hopefully I'm going to be able to have Alicia come up and we're going to talk about a lot of things that are happening, like the oil plant catching fire. Do you think that the main cause of it is our government, and are they trying to us population control? Allegedly, Crowley, maybe. Right, honey? Let's put some allegedlys up here so we don't make people mad. There's my opinions, thoughts. No, I just thought she would be interested in the topic. Yeah. Yeah. I just thought the topic was interesting. So I was going to read a little background on the Murdaugh, just in case y'all didn't know. Um, the trial of Alex Murdaugh in the state of North Carolina versus Richard Alexander Murdaugh is an ongoing American criminal case in the South Carolina Circuit Court, in which Murdaugh is accused of the murders of his wife and their 22-year-old son in June 2021. The trial began on January 25th, 2023, with instruction from the judge and opening statements from the prosecution and defense. His charges are two for murder and possession of a weapon during the commission of a violent crime. In North Carolina, that would be possession of a weapon during a felony. Let's see here. Alex Murdaugh was arrested in July 2022 after the Kellyton County grand jury issued an indictment charging him with 2 counts of murder and 2 counts of possession of a weapon during the commission of a violent crime in the deaths of his wife Maggie and his son Paul. The indictment started. Alex shot his wife. The indictment stated Alex shot his wife with a rifle and his son with a shotgun. Sources close to the investigation said that high velocity blood spatter on Alex's clothing, as well as cell phone footage, had placed Murdaugh at the scene when his wife and son were shot. The blood splatter alone, you can't refute. I would be driving that point home, 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 right? And residue, right? Okay, let's continue here. Prosecutors suggested Murdaugh was motivated by a desire to gamer sympathy in the wake of financial issues, which were beginning to go public. Murdaugh pled not guilty, while state prosecutors said they would seek life imprisonment without the possibility of parole rather than the death penalty. The defense team argued that the prosecution should not be able to ask questions related to Murdaugh's financial crimes, but the judge overruled their objections and announced he would make a formal ruling on the matter Thursday, February 2nd. The judge dismissed the jury on Thursday the 2nd in order for the prosecution to present two witnesses that testified about Murdaugh's financial crimes. The judge said that he needs to hear more testimony before making the ruling, and that was when they had the bomb threat on February 8th, forced the court to immediately evacuate. On February 13th, Judge Newman announced that 2 jurors had been dismissed and replaced by alternate jurors because they had tested positive for the COVID. Let's see. This will most likely end up like that. Yes, the OJ. Yeah, everyone knows he's guilty. That's true. Let's skip down here. Juicy stuff. Listen to this. The prosecution brought two close friends of Paul Murdaugh to testify about their interactions with the Murdaugh family and their communications with Paul's moments before his death. A witness said he heard Alex's voice in the video taken by Paul minutes before the time the prosecution believes the murder took place. Is that the footage where he's with the dog that was injured? I think so. Then on the 23rd, Murdaugh took the stand to testify. What an idiot. You know, as a trial lawyer, why would he think that was a good idea? Why do you think that was a good idea? Why did you think that was a good idea? I mean, let's see here. I watched one last night. I watched 48 Hours. I watched two documentaries last night. They say marital. Yeah, I saw that too. Maggie was wanting to leave. Ooh, what's the boy got to do with it? Why'd he kill the boy? Yeah. Murdaugh finished his testimony the following day, and Judge Newman dismissed the jury immediately after his was it concluded. Defense counsel said they anticipated they would finish their arguments on Monday. So it's you know, I don't know. Do y'all think they presented their case? Mm-hmm. Murdaugh Murders, a Southern Scandal, is already in the works for Netflix. A Southern Scandal. Wow. The Murdaugh Dynasty, Campfire Studios, or the Murdaugh Murders Deadly Dynasty Investigation Discovery. Murdaugh Murders Podcast 2021 by Mandy Matney. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, well, I watched 48 Hours, and they said that too, Pam, that they was having marital problems, and that made me think, there you goes another, another someone with motive, I don't know. Could it have been her lover? It makes you think things like that. I don't know. We know who did it. But the reasonable doubt is there, is what I'm saying. Do you think the prosecution has done their job? It's on Netflix and HBO Max and two different shows. Well, they don't take no time, do they? Golly. They didn't take no time making, gee whiz. That's what it's about, isn't it? Man, I tell you what. I kind of think.com says the defense was really worried about the outcome. Otherwise, I don't think they would have put Alex on the stand. They figured they had nothing to lose. That's interesting. If they, have you seen this lawyer? He gets frustrated easily, and don't ask me a question. Excuse me. I bet Murdaugh told him, this is what I'm gonna do. I don't think he would have been able to have told him, don't you get on that stand now. Don't you do it, boy. And he said, I'm gonna get on the stand and I'm gonna tell him my side. That's probably what happened. Right. I think the trial was more interesting than the documents. Yeah, man. He has a way about him that's just like, golly. You want to watch, right? Some of these you don't want to. Yeah. So it'll be interesting. Well, okay, so if it goes to the jury on Monday, how long y'all think it's going to take them to come back? How long y'all think it's going to take for them to come back with a verdict? I give it to the next Monday. I'll give them a week. What do y'all think? Because they'll probably have all kinds of questions. Right? Yeah, he is disgusting, isn't he? Yeah. Yeah. 1 week. I do too. Okay, I agree. 1 week. Next Monday, they'll but because they're probably going to have all kinds of questions. And what are the other choices of charges will they have? Will if they don't do murder, will it be second degree? What are their choices? Right? I don't know. I would like to know that. Let's see here. What else was I going to tell you about it? Mhm. Okay, I told you about that. I went over that. Okay, so I asked on my poll, do you think Alex Murdaugh is guilty? 73% of 44 said guilty. Only 5% said no. 23% really? You think so? That I mean they'll try it again. Um, Not sure. 23% not sure of 44 votes. If y'all don't know, the little boy in Florida, JJ, was found. He was found today. So that's great news. Woo-hoo. Uh, I do too. Man, wouldn't that be awful? They would have to start all over again, right? Yeah, I posted the movie if y'all have got time this weekend and you want to see a good Southern, I believe too, Miss, totally. The Long Hot Summer, the 80s version, I shared it too on my community wall. If you want to continue the Southern scandal, it's a good movie.
Yeah, the 80s version is the best.
I like the 80s version too. It's a Long Hot Summer is the name of it. And it's got Sybil Shepherd and Don Johnson in it. And it's a good.
Don Johnson is in the new version.
Right here, no, Don Johnson's in this one. I'm looking at the trailer. So, I wish I had a little dooley to show you about it. But I don't. I'd love to show them a little trailer. Oh well. Darn it. Let's see here. If he don't get convicted for this, at least he will still spend years behind bars. Yeah, that's right. That's true. Yeah. You know, what's going to happen to the youngest son? I wonder. What is his legacy going to be? He really ruined the family name, Alex, didn't he? Years and generations, right? Wow. What an idiot. I mean, really.
How y'all doing tonight? Hope everybody's doing real good.
That just happened to be right after I said idiot. Yeah, I mean, um, I would like for them to get closure on the little girl, or not little girl. I mean, I guess she was a teenager, and the boat accident, and the little the gay guy that they need to now. This has happened. I would totally reopen those, right? And I'm not sure that I bought this. He was a pill addict. I think he's using that. Yeah, the original was Paul Newman, and what was her name? She was in Psycho. She was Jamie Curtis's mama. That's the yeah, that's the original. Sure is. What was I gonna say? What was I gonna say, honey? What was I saying? It was about the Murdaugh. That they should reopen it now that all this has happened. It just seems like they would reopen those. Um, and get proper closure. Because if they're saying that those were accidents, we're not so sure now, right? Not so sure. Yeah, Joanne Woodward. Was she Jamie Curtis's mama? Joanne Woodward? Oh no, that she wasn't Jamie Curtis's wife. Okay. All the family has been affected and will be for years to come. It really put a mark on that family name, didn't it? Mm-hmm. What you mean? Yeah, I don't think that I believe that he would. I think he's using it as an excuse. I do. I think he's using that as a cop out. Oh, it wasn't me. I was addicted. Bullshit. I don't believe you. Because I lived with a pill addict and she couldn't think about anything but that. And she went from being someone who was working split shifts at a restaurant carrying heavy trays to a fiend. So I don't believe him. And when he said, "Oh, I was up to such and such milligram," bullshit. Then he would have acted that way. And I think that he's using that as a cop out. Yeah, bull crap. I've lived with the addict before, and that ain't how they act. They don't hold down damn law firms, right, honey? I mean, come on, dude. I mean, and if he was doing the volume that he says he was doing, uh, then he was snorting too. Because you get past the just consumption by mouth, you want it, you're trying to chase that dragon. You're trying to get that stronger feel, right? And I'm sure, I don't believe it. There would have been more signs of that. You know what I mean? You don't believe it. Mm-mm. Stuff would have been pawned. Well, I mean, he was, ripping people off, but I'm not so sure. I think it was his lifestyle. Do y'all think it was his lifestyle? Yeah, they had that. It's in there. They had that sprawling horse farm, and her wearing a fur. I mean, I would assume it was their lifestyle that put him in so much debt. Maybe he did have a pill addiction, or maybe one of his cronies did that he kept around to be his bouncer, right? Because I think people in high positions like that have bouncers. You would be stupid not to. You have to have a goon, a hired goon, right? To go do your dirty work. That's my opinion. My neighbor is a pillhead. She says her pain pills give her energy. Yes. Just like Alex said today, I don't believe it for a minute. Yeah, I heard that too. I can't go to work without it. Yeah, what I remember was her being balled up in a fetal position, asleep. I don't remember getting extra work out of her when she was on a pain pill. She was usually knocked out. Oh, that's hot. Mm. Yeah, I agree with you. Totally, totally agree with you. Do you think that they'll throw rehab out there? Like, I don't know, something cushy because he's got the pull and the power. Do y'all think he's gonna like get something cushy, a cushy deal? This is why I had to go do what I did, and which was show my ass in the media, and I made a Facebook channel and or page rather, and I went hard because I was dealing with good old boys who wanted to treat my daughter like she was just a common drug addict, and I wanted more than that for her, and so when you're fighting the good old boys and you're not from there. Ooh, they really didn't like me, and I was fighting. I thought a losing battle, but I do think that um, my middle child's family did have pull down there and probably helped. So without that, I don't know that I would have gotten the outcome that I have. But so it matters who you know. So matters. I remember my mother telling me that growing up. It's not always what you know. Sometimes it's who you know is how you're gonna get that job, right? A golf course prison. Isn't that the truth, Pam? Ain't that the truth? Right there. She said it. One of my sisters was hooked on oxycodone. She had days worth of energy. Hmm. I don't know. Maybe it's how it's done and their temperament. I don't know. Could be. I could see where it would be. Yeah, everyone has a different reaction. I just remember my daughter being curled up in a fetal position. She was asleep. Yeah, maybe it's you're high first and then you crash. That could be it. Maybe you're energetic first and then you crash. Maybe she took it while she was at work so she could get through the workday and she crashed when she got home. That could be why I think that. I'm sorry there's not very many people in here to chat with us so we can talk about this case. I guess we could talk about something else. It's had me mesmerized for the last couple of days, and I was like really tired of the YouTube drama, if that's what you want to call it. I guess LARPing acting, and decided to go watch some law and crime or court TV, and it got me hooked on the case. Plus, I'm very local. I'm in North Carolina, as they say, North Kakalaki, and he's down in South Carolina. So I started watching this, and it was a lot more interesting than all that fighting. I'm over it. I'm done with it. I'm bored with it. I hope that they can find them some new writers. That doesn't mean I don't support them and don't like them, whoever that is over there that's my friend. I just I'm over that, so I'm looking for other stuff. When you've watched Jerry Springer for weeks on end, you want to turn the channel to court TV every once in a while, right? Or Lifetime television for women. I don't know, or maybe tiny house building. So that's what I've been doing is just being interested in others. So I don't think it's healthy to be so wrapped up in white knighting for people I'm never going to meet and never going to meet, and they wouldn't white knight for me back. So That's what I'm thinking, because we all saw what happened when we tried to white knight over there for the Tigers, right? And nobody white knighted for us back. So it's like every time I start to, I think I'm scratching my head thinking, am I like getting caught up in a LARPing game or something? And so I have to take a step back and think about things introspectively and see the bigger picture, and then I decide whether or not I want to partake in that, right? It is odd, but I would spend nights with her. I would go to bed and get up 9 hours later with her still up in a spotless house. Wow. So she really, I think we are all bored with what we're talking about. I think I subscribe. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Because I can't, which one was that one? Um, yeah, my husband's like over there, don't get talking about that. Don't start talking about that. But, I have to take a break. And I listened to White Rabbit today, or Black Rabbit, whatever she goes by, and she really put things in perspective. So I took a step back and went back to my trial and started watching it, right? That's why I sub to a variety of channels, Gypsy. Yeah. And like I joined the Hillbilly Kitchen. And yeah, let's see. That's my neighbor cleans in the middle of the night. Do they vacuum the yard? When you start vacuuming the yard, you need to throw them coffee, right? I'm going to tell you something that I did.com. And you're probably my age, so you'll remember this. I went and Googled because I want to talk about one of these nights, heroes, and what you look for in a hero, what makes a hero or a role model. And so I was thinking back. My husband asked me, what got you into wanting to do this, what I'm doing here, and why I want to do it the way that I do it. And it's Jessica Savage. Jessica Savage was someone I remember being a little girl and watching, and she was with David Brinkley and John Chancellor and David Brokaw. And I remember watching her and thinking, I could do that. I want to do that. And of course, I wanted to do something entertainment anyway. But I thought that I liked the way that she, held herself until she got off on cocaine, of course. But and that was another thing that I was going to talk about was when your hero isn't a hero anymore, right? But that's another show, another time, another show. Um, Gypsy, you could almost be my kid. I'm 69. I'm 52. I'm getting up there. But so you're close to October Baby. October Baby, I think, is 76. I think she said. Is that what she said? But so you probably remember Jessica Savage then. And then when Jessica Savage died in the car accident, or she was fired, whatever, she left over her addiction and coming drunk. Did you save me that clip of her drunk?
Yeah.
It's on my thing.
I don't know. I've got it on the computer, I
I thought you had it over here.
think. Look on your screen yard. It should be there. Unless we took it off.
Okay, I don't see it.
I could put it on real fast.
No, it's all right. I'll use it for another show. But my point was, I wanted to get feedback on what do you do when your hero turns out to be a zero. And how devastating that can be. And then you have identity questions. And wait a minute, other heroes I looked up to was Wonder Woman, and she wore those bracelets. And when people would shoot at her, she would stop it with her bracelet, and I thought that was cool. And so she was a hero. So I guess Jessica Savage would have been a role model. My brother was someone that was a hero to me. My grandson is a hero. My husband is a hero. My father, being law enforcement, is a hero. But like a role model, I guess, was like Oprah and women in that wore suits, and that what I'm trying to say. That was in what I'm trying to say. She said, "My oldest son will be 50 in July." Wow. Wow. My birthday is in June 20th. I was born on my oldest sister's 12th birthday. Mine 43 next week. We're old. No, you're not. But do y'all remember Jessica Savage? Let's see if I can show you a picture of her. She was she was addicted to cocaine, wasn't she? Yeah, it was cocaine. That's her. Right here. That's her. Yeah, so anyway, that's going to be a story I'm going to do. I was going to do it this week and I got busy. So I'll do it one day next week. And with us looking at creators in that hero worship type way, and idolizing creators, was sort of why I wanted to bring that up and talk about that. So the cartoon, what cartoon? Did I show you a cartoon? No, I don't think I did. I don't know what. Let's see. I honestly never had heroes. We didn't watch much TV, and I never believed in Santa Claus. Was your dad Burgermeister, Meisterburger? Not always for the children. Burgermeister, Meisterburger hated the guy in the red suit. You were thinking of Jessica Rabbit. No, Jessica Savage. No, right here. She was a news anchor. That's her there. With Tom Brokaw and yeah. So I think I even did my hair like her. My daughter said, "Why do you wear your hair like a helmet?" Because it's professional. That was David, let's see. I got it all mixed up. Brokaw, Brinkley, Chancellor, and Savage. It was NBC, Nightly News. I thought he downloaded a bit where you could actually see her in action, but
Yeah,
he didn't.
There in 7, 6, 5, 4.
You do remember? Good. Yeah.
All right, there you go. You got her flipping out in front on there.
Where?
Very
Do I
positive.
have to talk during it?
No.
Very.
Fair use.
Good evening. President Reagan has canceled his planned visit to the Philippines. The White House blamed the press of congressional business, but did not deny fear for the president's safety.
Fair use.
The Supreme Court today left intact rulings of constitutional right to own a handgun. And now this.
That was when she got fired. They said, we won't be needing you anymore. She was tore up, wasn't she? No, who was the Mr. Dude? Which one? Brand. Which one are you talking about right here? Um
Oh, Burgermeister.
Oh, Burgermeister Meisterburger. He's from Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Cartoon.
Yes, the cartoon. Yes, Burgermeister Meisterburger. He was the German guy who didn't want Chris Kringle wearing that stupid red suit, and he didn't want him handing out toys. Yeah, I took that movie very seriously. Nonconformist is what he called a rebel and a nonconformist. Here she is flipping out. Where's it at, honey?
It's right beside that one.
Well, watch her flipping out here.
No, I'm going to do a countdown.
You need a count.
Sure. 22 seconds. I'm going to do guess when it's over. We go through this. Bill, we go through this every week, and this is the last week I'm going to go through this. If somebody's assigned on this show as a stage manager, then somebody can be here. Every week is the same story. I don't mind it once or twice, but it's enough.
Ken says that's how I act. Sometimes I do. Yeah, she got from NBC. But before she became a zero, she was a hero to me. So, who's one of y'all's heroes? Y'all tell me one of y'all's heroes. We got off topic. That's all right. It's Friday night. I'll change the topic name. Right? She died in a car accident. Mm-hmm. Okay. Who are some of y'all's heroes? Definitely Chris Kringle. Right, honey? Yeah. Definitely Chris Kringle. My hair is like lumpy, man. Her hair was perfect. I need to get my hair perfect like Jessica Savage. Yeah, when your hero turns to a zero, that broke my heart when I heard she passed away. What? What do you want? Are you gonna plumb bomb me? She's not here anymore. She said be right back.
Oh, well, it's there underneath your Justice Habit picture. I'm done. Bye-bye.
That was Burgermeister Meisterburger for .com, but .com left the room. So now you know who. Yeah, he was, in my opinion, socialism. Right, honey? Or communism. Communism. You got to go back and watch Santa Claus is Coming to Town. It answers all your questions about Christmas, and it teaches a little social politics. Yeah. Brian Williams, I know he lied on the news, but he redeemed himself. Yeah, he was always a good one. When Jessica Savage was replaced by Jane Pauley, she definitely had a bar to live up to. And I think that she got so much flack. And now that we have Savannah Guthrie, I'm not a fan. I'm sorry if you are. That's fantastic. That's wonderful. I hope that you're enjoying the Day Show. But she is why I don't watch it anymore. I don't see her as a journalist like I did Jessica Savage and Jane Pauley. And I just can't get into that. So I miss like watching Jane Pauley. So when she is on Sunday mornings on CBS, I go watch her. So I miss real journalists being in an anchor position. And now it's more I don't know. Yeah. And Jessica talks about that in her footage when you see her interviewed. She talks about how an anchor back then had to be 3-dimensional. You had to be vertical, you had to be horizontal to look good on television, but you also had to have a third dimension where you knew what you were talking about, and that came through when you were talking to people. You had to be knowledgeable about what you're talking about. Otherwise, you lose the respect of the viewers. Well, when they brought Savannah Guthrie in and Matt Lauer to replace people like Bryant Gumbel and Jessica Savage, I thought, are you joking me? They like went, I don't know, they changed it. Yeah, they changed it. That they're not like journalists anymore, right? I don't know. Well, I'm going to go ahead and close out. There's only a couple of people in here, and maybe I'll bring this topic up again tomorrow when we talk about, I'm going to talk about, do you think that, things that are happening are a coincidence? Pretty much my poll was preparing me for that tomorrow. I want to talk about, I am having a lot of physical transitions when I eat food I buy at the grocery store. I want to see if anybody else is. And I'm having health issues ever since I had the Rona. And I want to talk to y'all about that. And I want to see if you think that any of this is coincidence, and just sort of share with, do you think that this is population control? Do you think this is the new Vietnam War? Because it's gotten rid of the same amount. So that's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. So, hey, October baby. Nobody came, so I was going to go ahead and end it. We were going to talk about the Murdaugh trial, but we did a little bit and shoot the shit a little bit. And
Doc's back. Show her the.
Oh, Doc comes back. How do I bring it up?
It's under overlays.
Overlays. This is BurgerMeisterMeisterburger.com. The guy in the middle. He hates the guy in red. Yep. It's a good movie. When you watch it as an adult, you go, oh, this is a political story. And it is. Yeah, so hopefully we can get together and, these railroad derailings and explosions. And now I just showed y'all where an oil plant is in flames. Maybe we can get together and talk about, do y'all think that this is a coincidence or is it on purpose? And is this population control? So y'all come on back and go with us tomorrow, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Life is harder than I like to think, but it's easy when you're by my side. No point in calling, you just have to see the fundamentals of our life tonight. Cause I've been looking at a photograph of you, and I've been thinking about all the ways you move. This isolation got me feeling like a movie, my love. Yeah, when I wake up, I feel empty, not beside you.